Hi, beautiful people. Welcome once more to our amazing channel and slot safe pregnancy, safe delivery, which is aimed at ensuring that we have a good mother and a good baby
Baby.
by no other but our very own favorite obstetrician and gynecologist, Dr. Nzometia Crysantus.
Wow. Hello, everyone. It's so wonderful to always have you. Today, we are going to be talking about your due date. What is the significance of your due date?
La la.
First of all, there's a lot of confusion about the due date. Many pregnant women focus on the ultrasound and they'll usually come and ask this question and say, Doctor, I did many echographies and each echography gave me a particular due date. One thing I want you to know is that the ultrasound is not the first element by which we determine your due date. Your due date is determined from your last menstrual period. And what is your last menstrual period? When we say last menstrual period, some women will give the last day they had their menses. It is actually the first day of your last menses. So, for example, we are in the month of August. You lastly menstruated on December 20th. If we say last menstrual period and you gave December 20th, it means that it started on the 20th of December. Maybe you bled to the 23rd. Your last menstrual period will not be the 23rd of December. It will be the 20th of December. From that day, we will estimate your due date. If you really remember that day, then your due date will be considered from that day. And your due date, when we calculate it, it gives us 40 weeks. So from that day, for example, 20th of December, it will give us 40 weeks of pregnancy. For example, we have a formula we use. If your last menstrual period was on the 20th of December, it means that your due date will be the 27th of September 2023, where we are now. For example, so that will make 40 weeks. 40 weeks. Now, if you forget this day, because studies show that 30% of pregnant women don't remember their due date. If you forget your last menstrual period, or you don't remember the events that occurred around your last menstrual period, for example, Easter, any festive season like Christmas, Easter, and so on, we could use ultrasound. Many people talk about echography. Echography is actually a French appellation. It is ultrasound in English. Now, every ultrasound you do will give you a particular due date. Due date is actually what we call expected date of delivery. Expected date of delivery. EDT, as my wife just said. That is it. So if you don't remember, ultrasounds could be used. And one thing you must know is that ultrasounds have their error margins. The best ultrasounds are ultrasounds that are done before 25 weeks. Initially, it used to be ultrasounds that are done between the 11 week of pregnancy to the 14 week of pregnancy. Now, new studies have proven that even up to 25 weeks, it can be used to accurately determine your expected date of delivery, because many people are trained now to do it and they are becoming more accurate. Yeah. Even otherwise, every ultrasound you do will give you a date, So health workers just use it as a guide to estimate when your expected date of delivery or your due date could be. This is how you can determine your due date. And once you know that day, it that day does not mean that you put to bed on this day. So many pregnant women are ignorant because they stay until that day passes. And once that day passes, it changes your story. One thing I want you to know is that term pregnancy is from 37 weeks to 42 weeks. And like I said before in one of our videos, a pregnancy week is 7 days. And a pregnancy month is 28 days. It's not the month like this is a month of August. The month of August is 31 days. That's not a pregnancy month. A pregnancy month is 28 days. That's how we calculate it. So when we talk about 40 weeks, is actually 10 months of 28 days each. For you, you know it as 9 months. So now that date means that expected. It means that by that date you should put to bed. That's what it means. It means that you can put to bed before that day. And it's even best when you put to bed before that day. Term starts from 37 weeks. It means that from the 37th week of pregnancy, we start expecting your baby. Many pregnant women are ignorant because they wait until this day comes and pass before they start preparing. When the day starts approaching, maybe like 1 2 weeks, they start preparing. Meanwhile, they are already late. Normally, a pregnant woman who is conscious of this, because sometimes they'll come, you give them counsel and tell them things to do in order to put to bed on time. They'll tell you that my due date is not yet come. I'm still waiting for my due date. And when that time approaches, they start getting stressed up. Because the more the time approaches, the more you get tired, and the more you may have some third trimester discomfort that will cause you to start making wrong declarations or becoming impatient or going to take things that you shouldn't take. So your term starts from 37 weeks. And by that due date, it's already 3 weeks now. That window is the best time you should give birth. If you yield to counsel and you do proper preparation. Some people give some drugs to start making your cervix to be softened. Some others give you counsels. For example, have regular intercourse with your partner. Your partner is not around, stimulate your nipples. It will help for the release of oxytocin, or regular intercourse will help to prepare your part. The sperms have something called prostaglandins that will help to soften the cervix. When you say so, they say, no, I don't want it. I'm uncomfortable. And then when the time starts passing, they're getting stressed off. Why? Because when that due date passes, it becomes a prolonged pregnancy. Post-date pregnancy, as some people call it, or a prolonged pregnancy, especially from 41 weeks. Some societies say it like this. Now, why is that period not very good? Because as the time evolves, the placenta starts getting old. It starts getting old. And the placenta is the one that supplies nutrients and oxygen to the baby. So when that time passes, to avoid the baby having challenges or even getting too much weight that will end up, so the chances of going to a C-section are higher when that date passes. When that date passes. Because sometimes that date passes and we need to give you what we call forced labor, induction. We need to assess to see if we can induce. If it's already a woman who was operated before, who has uterine scars, it will be difficult because you can induce and ruptures the uterus, so you end up being operated even if the baby is small. If you don't have a scar and you have other risk factors, for example, a baby that's very big, and you induce or you give forced labor, it can further cause the baby to suffer or even cause you to rupture your uterus. If that date passes and maybe the placenta is already old, the chance that you induce and a baby suffers are high. So usually our prayer and hope is that the baby comes before that expected day or that due date. So if you have been waiting only for due date, don't wait for that date again. The other greatest risk is women going to stay in the house. We have received women of that 43, 44 weeks. You ask them and say they told me to go and wait in the house. So I pray that some health workers watching this will also learn not to tell women to go and stay in the house and wait for labor. When a woman is in labor in the tetra, you keep seeing the woman until she puts to bed. That's the wisdom. But when she hears from you, sometimes she goes and comes back 45 with a dead baby, or the baby who has suffered and suffered and suffered, because if the placenta ages, the baby will start suffering in the womb. And that is not good. So usually when that date passes, it becomes two decisions, either C-section or induction. And if when induction is given or forced labor, it's also 50-50. Either it progresses to vaginal delivery or it fails and it becomes C-section. But women who deliver during that window period of 37 weeks, 40 weeks, 3 weeks, usually the majority put to bed. The majority put to bed. And if they apply these measures, usually the labor comes. In women in villages, many of them deliver around this time because they are working, they are going to the farm, they are trekking, they are doing this. But city women are eating all types of things. They are taking cars from place to place, sedentary lifestyle, and at the end, sometimes babies are already very big or they are heavy themselves. Babies don't descend faster, and so on and so forth. So, in the city, you need to accept these measures that are given to help you enter into labor properly and on time. And sweetheart, of course, I did this with you. We did this together. We did these
Yeah, we
things
did
together.
a lot of sports. I remember during the one of the pregnancies, we were living in the third floor, I think. Every day I had to climb and descend, I think like 10 times, just go up, down. And I think that really helped and it facilitated the
Yeah.
labor when it started.
Mm. And
The
of course, the things I'm
activity.
telling them to do, I did it with you. Of
Mm.
course. That's how we easily had a successful trial of scar,
Mhm.
because a trial of scar, the labor should not stay for long.
Yeah.
And so if you are there, the man, you can intervene in the way I said, and it will help. It will help to
It
prepare
sure
the path.
did.
So when the labor comes, it doesn't stay.
Mm.
It doesn't stay, and the cervix
Exactly.
responds faster. Contractions come well, and they respond faster.
Yeah.
And
That's
you, the
right.
lady, some of the men will usually tell me that their wives refuse. And I'll tell the women, why are you refusing? You say you are tired. We are now giving strategies to cause the baby to come faster. You are saying that you are tired. You see,
Beautiful.
so take this
No longer
wisdom today,
beautiful.
apply it, and come back with your good testimonies.
Thank you so much. Thank you, our precious OBGYN. You're so precious to us.
Hmm.
Thank God for your life
Thank you, my sweet.
and for impacting us with so much knowledge. Can we shout out to our OBGYN?
I receive it on my heart.
Ooh la la.
Waiting to hear your nice testimonies of coming out healthy, and your baby is healthy as well.
Amen.
Good
Amen.
mother, good baby.
Amen. Thank you
Thank you.
so much. Don't forget to share this with a friend or a fellow pregnant woman, expectant mommy and daddy today. Please share this with them so they can learn this knowledge and the others that we'll be sharing too. Thank you. Stay tuned. God bless you.
Good.